Hi there Booktube, it's Eleanor here, and today I'm doing my what I read and what I'm going to read video plus my Booktuber shout out. So I'm going to start with my Booktuber shout out. Hi guys, so I realised as I was editing this that the person that I'd done my Booktuber shout out for, I'd already done a Booktuber shout out for. Obviously something that happens to you when you get really old. I want to do my Booktuber shout out, and this week I want to shout out the wonderful Octavio from Galilean Library. I love his channel. He's not been around for about a month or so because he's had loads and loads of university work and he's just been really busy and snowed under, but he's back and he's doing some really great videos. He reads a lot of science fiction and fantasy. I love his channel, I love his passion, I love his humour. I love the way he talks about books and reviews books, and he's definitely one that I think people should watch and should have some more subscribers, so definitely go and check him out. I apologise in advance. Some of the books that I've read this week were library copies that have already gone back, and I'm filming this on my iPad, which for some reason iMovies doesn't allow you, I don't think, to sort of insert a picture on the screen. So I might be able to sort of stick a clip of a picture in, and then I'll put the name and the title on the screen below on the books that I haven't got, so apologies for that. So the first book that I read this week was To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Harm. As I said in last week's video, I'm kind of jumping on the bandwagon with this duology. I think it's a duology, because I've heard so many good things and I put it off, but I'm really in a contemporary mood at the moment and I just really felt like reading it, and they had it at my library, so I picked it up and I was really pleasantly surprised. It's a really lovely contemporary story. It's about a family. It's about Lara Jean. She's one of three sisters. She has an older sister and a younger sister. Her mother has died, and so they live with their father, who is a doctor, I think, and very hardworking, so it's often up to the girls to look after each other. It's a really lovely, they're a loving, caring family, and I really enjoyed that. It's quite refreshing to see that dynamic amongst a family. There's normally dysfunction all over the place, and although they've got their problems and there's drama going on, it's normal family drama. The basic idea is that Lara Jean has fallen in love with a number of boys in her short 16 years, and these aren't boys that she's been going out with and dated necessarily. These are boys that she's just fallen in love with for whatever reason, had crushes on, and so she's written them letters, like writing a diary entry about why she likes them, etc. And she's put them in an envelope in a hat box in her cupboard and addressed them and left them there, never to be sent but just to have. But they get sent. And this story is about what happens from then on. And it was really interesting and enjoyable, and I really enjoyed it. And because I enjoyed it so much and it was on sale, I have picked up the second, which is P.S. I Still Love You, I think, and I'm going to be reading that later on in this month. So I gave this one 4 stars and I really enjoyed it. The next book I read has also gone back, and that is Easy by Tamara Webber. I really enjoyed this as well. It's a new adult contemporary book, and and trigger warning on this one: if rape is something that is a trigger for you, this may not be the book for you. But I really thought that the issue of rape within this book was dealt with, in my opinion, quite well. So I thought that was a really nice change, really. In this story we follow Jacqueline, and she's followed her long-term boyfriend to college and he's broken up with her, and so now she's learning to live college and to deal with this breakup, and something happens one night and she is rescued by someone she doesn't really know, and they are drawn together, and romance and sexual tension and all sorts of other drama ensues, and It was a really good book and I really enjoyed it, and I gave this one 4 stars as well. Next, continuing my contemporary kick, I read The Coincidence of Callie and Caden, and then I moved on to the second, which is The Redemption of Callie and Caden, both by Jessica Sorensen. Again, these are new adult romance contemporaries, and I really enjoyed them. These were recommended to me by a viewer, and I can't remember who, but I picked them up on that recommendation from the library and I really enjoyed them. These are the stories of 2 young people, both with quite horrific backgrounds, who meet, and it's about what happens from then on in. I don't want to say much because I don't want to spoil anything, but I really enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed how these books progressed and came together. Next up, I read Altered by Jennifer Rush. This book is about a girl called Anna. She lives in a farmhouse. Her dad works for a company called The Branch, and they have a laboratory in the basement, and there's 4 boys being held captive and being tested on for some type of experiment. We're not sure what to begin with, and I don't want to spoil the surprise when you do read it, if you do read it. I enjoyed this. It was interesting, it was fast paced, but not enough, unfortunately, to carry on with the series, and I gave this one 3 stars. Next is a book which I'm not going to say too much about because I'm actually part of the blog vlog tour for this book, and I'm going to be doing a full review which is going up on the 9th of July, so watch this space for that. And that is Did I Mention I Love You by Estelle Mascame. This is an arc that I was sent by the publisher, so thank you to them for this. And I'm not going to say much about it. I enjoyed it. It was a compulsive read. I gave it 3 stars, and you can find out more about what I thought about it in my review. And then finally this week, I have literally half an hour ago finished Deeper by Robin York. These books, there's 2. There's this one, and then there's this one, which is Harder. These books were recommended to me by Carolyn Storer, and I'm so pleased that she did. I was looking for some new adult books, and she recommended these, and so far I've only read this first one, but I'm going to move straight on to the second one, and I'm really enjoying it. I feel like when it comes to new adult that this is probably got a bit more of a mature storyline. There's no insta-love, which I really like, and I felt like there was some really good characters and character backstories in this, and character development. Caroline, our main character in this, has had sex photos released onto the internet by her ex-boyfriend, and this is where we start the story, and we follow what happens then, and we follow her, and we also follow the male character West, and it's a dual point of view book, and that's done really well, and I think it really offers you some more insight into both of the characters, not just the female character as is often done, and they've both got interesting stories, and yeah, like I say, it's a very mature and I don't mean like mature content, I mean just a really well developed, well thought out story, and I'm really enjoying it, and I'm going to be carrying on, and I'll let you know how I feel about the second book next week, but I gave this one 4 stars. So if you haven't guessed from that, I will be picking up Harder next and reading that next week, and then I'll be picking up something off my July TBR, I think, so if you haven't watched that video you can find out a little bit more about the books that I'm looking to read in July on there, but that's what I read this week, and I had a really good week, and as you've seen from my June wrap up, if you've watched it, I had a really good month in June, and I think that's because I'm reading a lot of contemporary books, and I can read a contemporary book in an evening, and also I find contemporary books are a lot more gripping for me, whereas I you know, page turning, and I want to get to the end, and I found myself staying up very late, far too late, to read these, so I'm getting through quite a lot of books at the moment. So I hope you're all having a good week, and if you're in the UK, I hope you've got your fans on, because it's incredibly hot and sweaty here at the moment, and we're all struggling trying to sleep at night, hence why I'm also reading more, because I just can't can't sleep. It's so hot, and in the UK we're just not used to it, so we have nothing in place. Our houses don't have air conditioning, the fans sound like aeroplanes taking off, so you can't sleep because of the noise if you put a fan on, and it's just humid and muggy and there is no wind, and I just can't wait till it cools down a little bit. But consequently I'm reading more, so got to look on the positive, haven't we? But yeah, I hope you're all having a good week. Let me know what you've been reading. Have you read any of these? Any recommendations are always welcome, and I look forward to speaking to you soon. Bye for now, Booktube.